Can we start?
I'm waiting for you, man.
Okay.
I'm just sitting here trying to drive a car
All right.
while making a podcast. Is this a whole show just you trying to start the show?
Yeah, just trying
Why
to...
did you turn this light on?
Because I need
No,
light.
it doesn't help. It's worse.
It helps.
No, look. There, you look better again.
I don't.
You do.
I don't. I have dark circles under my
Your
eyes.
vanity will kill the show. Just wear the glasses like every other person with dark circles and keep the show going. Shut this off. Let's go. There you go. Welcome to Hollywood. I wear glasses for no reason because I'm too vain. How can people know that my eyes are like their eyes? They must think they're not.
Okay. I'm doing the show.
Oh my God, with normal eyes. Please don't unfollow. I am human like you.
Welcome back to another episode of Sheena
With
Interrupted. Today...
Not just in my trunk, but on my face. Sheena with bags.
Today-
Bags in the back, bags in the front, bags
Today
in the trunk.
we are in the car. We are doing a travel edition.
Travel
of
edition. Can we
our
put that at the
podcast.
end? After our song, bing, 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 Sheena, travel edition.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
On 3, sing it with me. Try. 1, 2, 3.
Travel
edition. Pa-dum, pam, pam.
Today we're in the car. We are on a road trip. We're driving back from New York.
Is it still called a road trip when you're on your way home?
Yeah, of course. We're road tripping back home.
Yeah.
Today I thought it would be fun to actually talk about travel adventures, travel mishaps, travel like budgeting.
Wow, how clever of you.
I know, I'm super clever. And I wanted to start by asking you what your absolute worst travel experience of your entire life was.
Absolute worst
Absolute
travel
worst.
experience of my life.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I don't think I have
You don't?
like any absolute worst travel stories.
You don't?
Well, one bad one
Uh-huh.
was a road trip
Yes.
to Montreal
With who?
with you
Uh-huh.
and our only child at the time,
Jay?
Jay, who was, I don't know, 1 maybe less.
Oh, was this when we went for my mom's birthday?
I don't know why we went. I just
I
remember.
remember this.
It was the winter.
Yes.
So on the drive back,
Yes.
the young man decided to vomit on himself. And we had to pull over on the side of the road because the whole car was stinking. We wanted to just drive into a ditch.
I remember that.
So we had to get out of the car,
Yeah.
open the door, but now we're changing him and we don't have towels and this and that. So I had to take off my shirt and use it to clean him and then just threw it.
So our son, who was like 1 at the time, used to get extremely car sick. Extremely car sick.
So we
And
said, let's take him on a road trip for 5
we
hours.
took him on a
in the
road trip,
car.
but what we were silly in doing was we actually fed him a bottle and thought we waited enough time. We gave him a bottle at like 7, waited about half an hour, and then started driving. And that was not enough time, so his
No,
food
but it
came
was
up.
hours later.
Maybe we gave him a
He
bottle in the
threw up.
car.
I remember this was not on the way home. It was on the way to
Yeah.
Montreal because I remember calling a friend of mine
Okay.
who lived maybe, I don't know, 45 minutes closer
Yeah.
than your parents at the time.
Yeah.
And we ended up spending the night at his house.
Yeah.
And we brought the car seat in and I took the whole car seat apart and put it in the washing machine and all of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And on the side of the road, we had to crank the heat because the door was open
Yeah.
and we had to take all of his clothes off.
Yes.
So he was freezing
Yes.
because we were literally father and son topless in the winter,
For the
standing
record, you're saying father and son were topless.
Yeah, you
but
were also topless?
No, I could not be topless.
Yeah.
But he had vomited on me.
No, he vomited in his car seat.
And on me.
No, you're
Yes.
mixing stories. He vomited on you in the house.
No, he vomited
You were
on me.
perfectly fine that trip. If he vomited on you, I would have been like, look, you're already covered in vomit. Use your own clothes. Why mine? We're both sitting vomit free. And this guy threw up on himself. And then we had to do this whole thing while he was freaking out. Then I went to my friends. I'm like, hey, how's it going? I'm covered in vomit. Can I put this stuff in your washing machine? And by the way, I'll leave very early tomorrow because I'm not actually coming to stay with you. I just came here because my kid vomited. Cool? Cool. My machine's downstairs.
That's a good friend.
Yep. So that's what we did. That
That
was probably a bad
one
one.
of our worst travel
And that wasn't that
car
bad.
stories. Yeah.
In reality, the worst part was
The poor kid was
his
freezing.
crying,
Yeah.
and because he was cold and sick, and
Yeah.
it wasn't cool.
Yeah, it was not fun. That was really sad for him, and it was kind of gross for us. But we've had a really bad travel experience.
Am I forgetting one?
Yeah, where we almost went to jail. We were in India, and I was with my mom and my aunt, and I was meeting you at a train station, and we were going to spend the day like doing a little shopping, and then we were going to go back home. And you met me at this train station, and you did not have what they called a platform ticket. Was that right?
Something like that.
Something
yeah.
like that. And I had gotten off the train with my ticket, and you were coming to pick me up. And I don't speak Hindi very well, so it was like, you were...
But you know who speaks Hindi well?
Not you.
Your uncle.
My uncle.
His Hindi's amazing.
But you didn't let me call him.
No.
So the police officer or some security guard came and found you and said, "Where's your platform ticket?" And I showed him my ticket, and he said, "No, this is your travel ticket."
I was just picking her up.
Yep, and apparently you need a platform ticket to come and get somebody from the platform. I don't know why.
They don't show you that in the Bollywood movies. They don't stop and buy a platform ticket before they go chasing the girl.
Yeah,
on the
never.
train.
I've never seen anybody
know.
stop for a platform ticket. Anyway, so you came in, you did not have your
And
platform
I told
ticket.
Sheena,
And then they
I'm gonna
pulled us
throw
aside.
something on the floor and we're gonna run.
No.
That was my plan.
That was a horrible plan. So, anyway.
You'll hear her plan in a moment. Much better plan.
So, we got pulled into the security office, and this man was basically lecturing us. And
That's the boss, not the guy who caught us.
No, not the guy who caught us,
like
the
a
big
junior
boss.
guy.
He was lecturing us and telling us how we did not do the right thing, and we should really pay attention to the rules, and we come from America and we're very disrespectful, and we don't understand how things work in this country. And so we kept quiet for a little bit, but I was really angry, and I was also much younger, so I was a little immature, and I was kind of seething more and more, and the longer he went on, the more angry and frustrated I got. And you just kept saying, "Okay, it's fine. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, should I
wanted
buy
to just say, can we get a?
Can
Is
we
there a
buy a
fine?
platform
Can we buy the
ticket?
ticket
Is there a
now? We
fine?
didn't know.
Yep.
Just appeasing the guy's ego.
Yep. And he was really on this like big ego kick. And then ultimately, he like said his piece. He just needed to rant and vent, and then he was letting us go.
No, you had one comment first that reset him, and then don't jump to the end. That was your second comment.
What did I say the first time?
But
I
your
said,
Hindi
"Call my uncle."
Yeah, no, you said you know who my uncle is.
I did not say that.
First time Sheena decided
I
to
said
drop
I want to call my uncle,
Yeah.
and you just kept telling me
That
to
guy's like,
shut
what do you
it.
think this is? Kaun banega crorepati? You think you can phone a friend? It's like, shut up and sit down. I'm not done lecturing you.
And I just wanted to call somebody who knew the system and who could help us and who could like sweet talk his way into this guy's head and just let go. And it did not work. And so I kept my mouth shut. And then as he was like wrapping up and
This
letting
is after
us
the uncle
go,
part. He reset the yelling, and then he gave us the whole lecture a second time. Then he was done.
We moved from the country, and we're just ungrateful, and we have no idea how this country works. And it's true, I don't. But okay, I know how my country works. And
Teach me, sir.
Yeah,
That's what I was saying.
I'm willing
Teach me,
to
oh
learn.
smart one.
So, anyways, then he's like starting to let us
Sikna
go,
hai, boss.
and I just shook my head, and I was like, unbelievable. Like I just whispered it under my breath.
Unbelievable is what you're going with now?
What did I say?
Stupid moron. How did that become unbelievable?
Say stupid moron.
You said he's such a stupid moron.
I did not.
And the guy heard. What? All of a sudden he became fluent in English.
I did not say that.
Then why did we get pulled back in?
I did not call him a stupid moron.
Moron. Stupid.
Maybe I
Moron.
said this is so stupid.
No, you called a man stupid moron.
I did not.
The guy's hearing became supersonic. We stepped out of the threshold too. We were out. I saw the daylight. I was ready to walk. He started shouting from the inside. I'm like, my plan still, run. And that same security guard was like, you guys are so stupid, moron. I can't believe you can't just shut up. No one's ever been lectured 3 times before.
I did not call him a stupid moron.
You called him stupid moron. Stupid moron. That's good. Yeah, you've been lecturing me for half an hour. I'm going to go with stupid moron.
I did not call him a stupid moron.
I tried, hey, you know who my uncle is? And when that failed, I went with stupid moron. Because this is going to work. This is going to work.
This is why I wanted to tell the story, because I knew you were going to completely make me the villain.
So you just said, unbelievable. And then he said, oh, come back in for half an hour more.
Anyway, that was the worst, because we both thought we were going to like train jail.
Yeah.
We were going to be stuck in some jail cell.
We were going to be stupid morons.
Some like random train station in Mumbai.
And then
it was
I don't know
not
what happened.
good. Then finally I
said, sir, can I borrow this tape? And he had this tape on his desk, and I took it and I put it on Sheena's mouth and on my mouth, and we just sat down.
You told me, you said, you keep quiet and do not say another word. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Then we left. That was really bad. That was really scary. The rest of the trip was fine. Actually, I was really upset the rest of the trip. I was pretty mad. Like that rest of that day at least.
The minute we left the train station, she stood on the road and she said, is this the jurisdiction of the train?
I
said no.
I think I started crying.
Screaming. Stupid moron! That's why people fly, because that man's a stupid moron.
Okay, my next question is, what lesson did you learn from that
day?
Experience?
What are you talking about? Just duct tape your mouth every time we travel by train in India. And they say, why? You say, well, she barks. And she has a violent disorder. She might bite you. Why? Why does she do that? I don't know. Something happened in her childhood with some stupid moron train man. Now, anytime she comes, she turns into a werewolf, starts attacking humans.
I never said that.
Stupid moron.
You're making this up.
That's why she only travels with tape.
I never said that. I absolutely never said that, stupid
moron. That was
moron.
a lesson I learned.
I've never called anybody a stupid moron.
That guy you called him.
No, I didn't. What lesson did you learn from this experience?
Buy a platform ticket.
Lesson to anybody traveling on trains in India, buy a
platform ticket if you're picking someone up, and if you forget to buy a ticket, just shut up. Just shut up and sit there.
Okay.
Don't call him a stupid moron.
Next question. Have you ever gotten lost in a foreign country?
Me?
Yes.
Oh, must have.
Have you? Let me ask a first question. Have you ever gotten lost in your own country?
I get lost in my own house sometimes. Like, hey, wait, where's the fridge? It used to be here.
Here's a little secret
now
to all of our
there's just a cupboard
listeners.
with books in it.
He has the absolute worst sense of direction I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, I don't know.
Yours, we've been together long enough that yours is getting pretty bad too now.
No, it's not. My sense of direction is very good. Yours stinks.
Yeah,
Admit
but still sometimes you make mistakes.
Yeah, of course, everybody makes
And
mistakes.
I'm like, why did you tell me to go that way?
Everybody makes mistakes.
But I still go the random way she says. Even if I know it's wrong, I go.
That's not true.
That's how bad my sense of direction is. I'm like, I know it's that way, but you're saying this way, I'll go this way. And then I don't even complain. I'm like,
So do you have any recollection of a time where you got lost in some foreign country?
Didn't we get lost a couple of times in Japan?
For sure.
We must have.
I have a really crazy Japan story that...
With that stupid moron you did jousting with on your bicycle?
No. We've already talked about that guy.
Sheena likes fighting older men. She cannot resist an older man in a suit. Doesn't matter if it's a uniform. You know, some women are attracted to the uniform. Sheena just wants to attack them.
That's not true.
Old bald man on his bicycle with he's wearing a suit. I will attack him.
No, I'll tell you guys my story from Japan.
Zara,
if any of you ever visit Japan,
make sure you wear boots with spurs.
No.
In case you get into a duel.
So we spent 1 year in Japan, and on the first night that we arrived,
Hitotsu.
First night. On the first night that we arrived,
Hikoki.
Airplane?
Yes.
You're just saying all the random.
We arrived by plane.
Oh. We fly from Boston. We land in Japan, in Tokyo. We take the most expensive cab ride of our lives from Narita Airport to where we were meant to go because we did not know, we didn't
Atago
know
Tawas.
anything. And we were so tired. So we get there, and I basically passed out, right? I passed out during the morning. On the sofa. And when I woke up, you told me, you started unpacking a little bit, and when I woke up, you said, we gotta go get stuff to eat. We gotta go get some like milk and cereal and food, and we haven't eaten in hours. And I need you to get up because you've been sleeping for hours and you're gonna be extremely jet lagged, and we need to go get this stuff sorted. Otherwise, we're gonna be very...
to assimilate to the local time.
Yeah. So we get up and everything, you were like, everything's going to close soon. So we get up and we're like walking around trying to find somewhere to eat dinner. And where our apartments were, there weren't very many restaurants. So we walked around a little bit, and we're also vegetarian. So as we're walking around, we're wondering like, where should we eat? But all of these signs are in Japanese, and they also have these like cards that show the pictures of the foods, and they all look like not vegetarian foods. So we're walking. We finally see this restaurant, Jonathan's. We've been walking for about 25 minutes. So we say, okay, Jonathan's. We're going to go to Jonathan's. There was a little picture of a pizza on the menu. So we said, okay, we'll go in and we'll have some pizza. We walk into the restaurant. We are seated, and we're waiting for our server to come over to the table, and nobody comes. And the server is standing, the restaurant's not very busy. The server is standing over by his
15 feet away
desk, 15 feet away,
watching us,
and just watching us like this, and does not say anything. And the mother and son that are sitting beside us are watching. There was a couple to the left that were just watching us. And I was falling apart because I had been up for many hours and I was exhausted, and you were looking around and nothing was happening. And we just kept looking over at the waiter, and he just kept looking back, like standing there and just staring at us. And how long did we sit there?
15 minutes?
15 minutes. Nobody comes over, not even a glass of
they're
water.
They're serving people that came in after us.
Yes.
At that point.
Yes. And I look over at you, I think, and I just started crying, and I said, where are we? Why are we here?
Yeah.
What have you done to us? You made us come all this way, and they don't even want to serve us food.
And then it happened.
That
beautiful lady sitting beside us with her son.
The little girl with her, the woman with her little kid. The kid was looking over at us and was like maybe pointing or something, and I was getting frustrated because I'm like, now people are talking about us. This is crazy. And then this wonderful lady beside us says, maybe you want to press that button.
On the tissue holder, which was beige,
yep,
on the top of it is a little button,
just a
which
tiny
you wouldn't even
button.
see.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's flush with the top, and you depress it, and then within 3.2 seconds, the waiter who's been watching our faces for 15 minutes shows up.
Before you even like took your finger off of the button, he was at the table. He's like, yes, I will take your order.
We pointed at the pizza. It was a cheese pizza.
Yeah.
And 10 minutes later, we had a cheese pizza on our table.
Yeah. And that was...
We just didn't know
that you have to press the button.
That you would not be disturbed until you asked to be disturbed.
Yep, exactly. And
Even
that's
if
something
they knew
that
we
we
were
learned.
Struggling, it didn't matter.
Yeah, that's something that we learned during our time while we lived in Japan, that they're very polite. They do not want to infringe on your space or your privacy unless asked. And so that was something that we had to learn. But that was probably the most intense first night that we could.
You didn't get lost though. We gave you a preview of a Japan episode, which we realized we should do.
Yes, we
an
absolutely
answer to a
should
question
do.
About where did you get lost, and the answer really makes sense because after she ate that pizza, she got lost in my eyes.
Oh, I did. Have you ever had a medical emergency while traveling?
Yes, I have.
For yourself?
No, even worse.
Jay.
For my kid.
Yeah.
His elbow popped out.
Yep. He had.
What's wrong with this guy? We should never take him anywhere.
Is it called tennis elbow?
No.
What's it called?
It's just dislocated elbow.
No, it was a nurse's elbow. Nurse's elbow.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, they call it nurse's elbow. His elbow popped out of its socket.
We land in London.
Yeah.
And we're getting our bags, and he's essentially, my mom's holding his hand.
Yep.
And like any, 2.5-year-old, I guess, at that point,
Yeah.
he tries to pull away
Yeah.
and then just starts crying. And he's so exhausted
Yeah.
that he's crying. So you pick him up,
Yeah.
and then he kind of stops crying a little bit, and then we get the luggage and we put it in the rental car, and
He like collapsed in exhaustion.
yeah.
He was
so
crying, and then
he just stopped.
fell asleep in my arms, I remember.
Yeah, and then we got to the car, we put him in the car seat.
And he started wailing
for a
again.
bit, but then he stopped again.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got to your friend's house where we were staying, and then because of
pulled
the
him out of the
travel
car seat.
and everything, we just said, okay, we need to rest a little bit.
Yeah.
And so we took him. I remember it was a pitch black room in their basement.
Yeah.
Both of us went down,
And we all
and he was
slept
sleeping
for
in the bed.
hours.
And we slept for a few hours, but then he just started screaming like in a unusual way.
Yeah.
And he wasn't speaking much, so he must have been younger actually, because he would have otherwise said to us his arm's hurting.
Yeah.
So we ended up
I think
realizing,
he was under 2.
yeah, we realized that it's something to do with his arm, because he was like not letting us touch his arm.
Yeah. You remember you
we-
made that
yeah, I
like
made him a sling.
out of my scarf for him?
Yeah, MacGyvered a sling for him, and then he was fine. With his arm in the sling, he was like perfectly fine. Nothing was hurting him. And then
Because
we
it
went
sort
to
of
the
like
hospital.
held it in one position, and then we had to take him to the hospital.
Yeah, so we took him to the hospital, and we waited for a bit, and then
Yeah.
they finally got him to see a doctor, and the doctor asked a few questions and ultimately diagnosed him pretty quickly, actually, with
Nurse's elbow.
with whatever this, yeah, his elbow
And
was
it
out.
took all of 3 movements. He twisted his arm up, down, and like back in place. And for those 2 seconds he wailed, but as soon as he popped it right back in, he was back to normal, completely normal.
Completely done.
In
and then
2 seconds.
And then he was still hesitant to use his arm
Yeah.
because he was favoring it for a few hours.
Yeah.
And then the doctor had a trick. Just essentially held out an iPad. But he made him reach for it. And then
Yeah.
the minute he reached for it and he realized he could
realized
reach,
that
he
it
was
was
like,
not
oh, my
hurting
arm
him
is fine
anymore.
again.
Mm-hmm.
And then, having been in the US for so long at that point, I'm sort of standing around saying, okay, where's the billing department? You know, do I have to, I'm trying to figure out how to call my insurance and this and that. And then I asked them, okay, where, you know, you haven't taken my information.
Yeah.
And they said, that's all, you're all set. Thank you. I was like, what?
That
What do
was
you mean?
pretty amazing.
They're like, yeah, that's, you know, healthcare is a public service here.
Yeah.
So enjoy
the
London.
UK. Yeah, that was really
I hope
amazing.
he's not hurting too much tomorrow, but enjoy London. There'll be no bill for the
Did we get a
services.
follow? I think we even got a follow-up call the next day to check that he was doing okay.
Your
It was
boy's
amazing.
arm's still in the socket.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. Did this experience change how you prepare for future trips?
No.
No, not really.
No difference.
We're kind of fly by the seat of our pants travelers.
Where's that expression from? Whose pants will you fly by otherwise? You always have to wear your pants when you
Yeah,
fly.
but we just kind of go with
Do
it.
people
Whatever
plan
it
in
is
advance
that-
not wear pants when they
so
fly?
many people make so many arrangements. We're not big planners. We're constantly like assessing as we go, and we're constantly pivoting too as we go. And now a word from our sponsors.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. What are your self-care non-negotiables? Maybe it's never skipping a nail day. Maybe it's never skipping a therapy day. When your schedule is packed with kids' activities, with work, it's really, really easy to let your priorities slip. And sometimes even when we know what it is that makes us happy, it's hard to get to it. But when you feel like you have no time for yourself, the non-negotiables, like taking care of your mental health, are more important than ever. With therapy, you'll learn positive coping skills. You'll learn how to set boundaries, and you'll learn how to take care of yourself and find the best version of you. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online and it's designed to be flexible and convenient to your schedule. All you have to do is fill out a brief questionnaire and you'll be matched with a licensed therapist. And you can switch therapists at any time at no additional charge. Never skip therapy day with BetterHelp. That's betterhelp.com/Sheena for 10% off your first month. BetterHelp, HELP.com/Sheena.
What is the most expensive trip you've ever taken, and was it worth it?
The most expensive trip I've taken was not just me. It was like, I don't know, how many were we? 20-some people? And it was for your birthday.
Last year.
Yeah, in Mexico. And it was worth it. Yeah, it was worth it.
Yeah, it was really nice. That was a beautiful trip.
That was a big trip.
So for that trip, we celebrated a couple milestones.
It was a double birthday in our family.
Yep, my brother-in-law was celebrating a big birthday, and I was celebrating a big birthday, and they basically rented out a house and got our entire family to come down to Mexico for 4 days.
Yeah.
And
we'd never done that before, like the house with the chef and...
Yeah, there was a private chef.
It
was all like vegan foods, like very, very high end.
It wasn't vegan.
It was vegan. The whole weekend was vegan.
Really?
Yep. And it had its own private pool. It had like this upper deck. It was really beautiful.
And what did we do, Zara, 1 hour into getting into this beautiful house? What did you do? She's not mic'd, so I will tell you what she did. Tell me.
I got a concussion.
Yeah, she got a concussion. She
Zara
was swimming.
jumped into the pool, was swimming with all of her cousins, and then tried to come up and hit this like
stool.
Bar stool that
But
was
concrete.
Inside, made out of like all of these
Concrete.
tiles. Yeah.
Yeah. So they had a section of the pool which they had like this pool bar, and the seats in that section were underwater, and Zara didn't have goggles. None of the kids did.
Nope.
We just got there.
And
they all
Zara-
switched into their swimsuits and jumped in.
Zara came up, actually it was the top of your head. She came up, she hit her head, and then she went back down, so all the blood just started like pooling on top of her head. So she came up and it came like pouring down her face.
And we were both inside. We weren't at the pool.
Yes.
She just came in crying, looking like the
No, I
scene
was
from...
in the pool,
Oh,
but
I
I was
was
further
inside.
away. But she,
I was
when I
still
saw
bringing
her,
like the bags in. That's how...
she was covered in blood. That was really scary. And I quickly put my hand on her head. I took a towel from somewhere and I put my hand and I put some pressure on her head, and we just tried to understand what happened. But we didn't know you were concussed right away.
We only realized that like a week after we got back.
Yes.
Yeah, she went swimming the next day. She went cliff diving.
Yes.
We didn't realize because she was fine. Like it was like a cut. She didn't throw up. She wasn't nauseous. She didn't have any of those symptoms.
Yeah.
But then when we started like getting into day 4, day 5, she started calling her brother Ray. Like, why are you calling him Ray? She's like, you don't tell me what to do. You're my uncle. It's a very confusing time.
Yeah, that was rough. But anyway, she's fine. It turned out everything was fine. We took her to the doctor, and it was just a very mild concussion. But that was a fun trip. Apart from the concussion, I think it was a great trip.
The rest was good. Even with the concussion, it was a great trip.
Yes. I think Zara would have preferred not to have had the concussion.
Ask
though.
her. Did you enjoy the concussion? You don't like calling your brother Ray?
We've taken another really, really nice trip too a few years ago.
The anniversary trip?
Yeah.
The delayed anniversary?
Yes.
That
So-
was nowhere near as expensive as this one.
No? That was pretty expensive too.
Yeah, but this one had to house 25 people.
That's true. This one housed
That one
only
only
us.
needed 2. So recently you guys heard in an episode that when we moved, right, we were talking about how we lived together in Montreal and we bought our big bed that couldn't fit anywhere.
Yeah.
And then we talked about our honeymoon. But the reason, I think we said it though, right? You always had this image of the huts over the water.
Yeah, I always wanted to do that.
She wanted to do that, and we couldn't afford to do that when we got married.
Yeah.
So I remember saying, give me 10 years
Yeah.
and I'll take you.
Yeah.
And 10 years came very quickly. And it also came with 2 kids,
Yeah.
one of which is sitting in the back now and was very young
Yeah.
at that point.
Yeah.
So I didn't feel comfortable flying very far.
Yeah.
And I had a plan for that 10 years.
Yeah.
It was to go to to stay on this side of the world and to go to this brand new resort in some part of Mexico that was
Like
actually, sadly, it got hit by a hurricane or a
Oh.
tornado or like a tsunami, some crazy disaster 2 years prior.
Right.
So I was looking at this, and then when it came time for our tenure, I was looking at this resort because it was reopening
Right.
and it was redone and everything was brand new and
Right.
it looked amazing. And I remember I was working with like the credit card company to stay on track with this, and I said to them, I want you to help me plan this. And they actually found this hotel. So I was waiting, and we were supposed to travel in June for our anniversary.
Yeah.
And in March, I had made the booking.
Yeah.
But I didn't book the flights. I just booked the hotel.
Yeah.
And they said they're going to open in beginning of May, like a month before.
Mhm.
So I was like, okay, this is perfect. And they had this rooftop room, which was essentially like a penthouse room with 360-degree views of the entire island.
And you were booking that
was
top
the room.
floor.
Yeah, that was the room. But they only have one of those.
Yep.
But I was booked for that.
Yeah.
And then I get a call from the credit card company about, 2 weeks before they were supposed to open. So in April, saying, hey, airfare ticket prices are going up.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, but this hotel hasn't opened yet.
Yeah.
Like, if they're delayed, I'm not going there.
Right.
There's no other resorts. There's nothing there. So they said, okay, but the flight might cost more. I said, okay, that's fine, but call the hotel, like find out what's happening.
Right.
So they said, okay. And then they called me back. They said, good news and bad news. I said, okay, what is that? Bad news, their opening is delayed. Good news, they're still going to be open by the time you're supposed to go. Because
Okay.
I wasn't going for a month, right?
Right.
I said, okay, great. And then the credit card company says, do you want to book your flights? I said,
No
no
chance.
chance am I booking my flight now
Right.
until this thing's open.
Yeah.
When are they supposed to open? Oh, they're delayed by 2 weeks. I said, okay, so they're opening in the middle of May and I get their first week of June. So I'm still, there's still some chance.
Yeah.
2 weeks go by, we get to the middle of May, they're still not ready to open.
Yeah.
They tell me the next week, third week of May, they're gonna do a soft opening where some part of the resort will be open and the other part will still
But
be
not
closed.
the part that we
No,
wanted
no,
to stay
just
at.
some part.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything.
Okay.
And I said, okay, do you want to book? I said, no. I said, stop asking me. I'm not booking this flight until this resort's ready to go.
Yeah.
And then the week before we're supposed to travel,
Mhm.
they tell me they have opened a portion of the resort. Another portion is going to still remain under construction, but they're putting the finishing touches on the penthouse room, and we'll be the first people to stay there
Okay.
if we want to go.
Uh-huh.
And I said, I'm not going. I'm not going to be the first person to stay in a room at a half-open resort
Right.
with construction going on, and I'm going to have to say, oh, this drain's not working, this pipe's not,
Yeah.
just like, nope, I'm not doing it.
So
We ended up,
did
for our
nothing.
10-year anniversary, we went to dinner to a Mexican restaurant around the corner from our house. It was a very interesting evening where I explained this.
we did nothing.
I explained this to her like a very reasonable person would explain. There was no sympathy involved in the
Absolutely
dinner.
not.
Zero. I was like, I'm trying for 2 months.
You
It's
know
not
why?
my fault the
Okay,
resort's
I'm
broken.
gonna tell you guys, I have been quiet this whole time, and I am gonna jump in here and tell you that while we have many strengths in this relationship and we understand each other's strengths, we also have some weaknesses. And we also know these weaknesses, and we've accepted these weaknesses about each other. And one of the weaknesses that I know that I have just had to accept, I don't try and change it. I have never tried to change it. But you are a person that does things at the last minute.
I'm not good at planning.
You
in
are not
advance.
good at planning.
That's
and
why this was such a
fine.
big deal for me. I'm like, oh, look, my
And that's
anniversary's
fine.
in 3 months. I'll call today.
Like, there are things that you do that are incredible. And
But
in the
this
beginning,
I was
it used
trying.
to bother me. And now it's just like, look, if I want things to be planned, I either have to do it myself or I have to not complain or not care when it doesn't get planned. And so, as much as we talked about it before our 10-year anniversary came up, as much as we talked about it and as much as I suggested and hinted at things that I wanted to do and places that I wanted to go,
I was like, nope, I got it.
He said,
I got this
"Nope."
perfect penthouse in Mexico. This is going to be amazing.
and I just knew when every time
It's
I
your
heard
fault. You put it in the universe.
Every
you said,
time
I
I
know he's going to
heard
mess it up. I know he's
that
going to mess it up.
he was working on it, I was like, okay, all right, let's see. And it's fine. This is a good lesson and I was reminded of it actually this weekend that
She was reminded when she got a fortune cookie at the Mexican restaurant.
I was reminded of this, that we are not perfect human beings. Nobody is perfect, and you can't change somebody. You just cannot change them. And so there are things that you're really, really good at, and there are other things that you are not quite as good at. But guess what? I'm not amazing at everything either. And so...
Yes, you are.
Oh,
What are you not amazing at?
I'm not amazing at so many things.
Like what?
Like keeping my temper all the time.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. That's a really good one. Yeah, you suck at that. You're so mad, bro.
Like, there are things...
Why so mad, bro?
There are things
We should
that
get you
we
a shirt
struggle
that says,
with.
why so mad, bro?
There are things that we struggle with, and then there are things that we're
It's
really
just a
good
little
at.
vomit. Yeah, but
Yes. But
I was trying.
yes, you
It's
were.
not my fault Mexico slowed down on me.
Yes, you were. And we
But-
should
and
eventually
then-
go back to that hotel.
I don't even know where it is now.
I know where it is.
So then what
I
happened?
can plan.
The next-
I'm pretty good at planning.
So that's what we did for a 10-year. And
Yeah.
bro was so mad.
Yeah.
Bro didn't even complain.
No.
Bro just went to the restaurant,
Yep.
ate her quesadilla, and was like, all right, that was fun. Let's go home. And I'm like, all right, you want to rent a movie even? No, I'm good. I think I'm just going to go to bed. And passive aggressive much?
No.
Didn't even talk about it for a year. Just like wanted to go on a hut. I told her when we got
Are you
married.
telling me that I was passive aggressive because
Yeah,
I
you're
did
just like,
not
yeah, I
get
was
mad?
shy. You're supposed to show some emotion. Bro's
cannot
regretting her
believe-
life choices at that day.
I cannot
I'm like, this is a good
believe
quesadilla.
that
You
this
should be
is
happy.
coming back at me like,
You're like-
I was the villain.
I'm like, get the nachos. Live it up a little. It's our anniversary. Have another virgin margarita.
It's
And
all
then
about all about your attitude in life.
Yes.
It's really all about your
So a
attitude.
month goes by, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months go by.
Yeah.
No mention of the fact that we took no trip
Yeah.
for our
Yep.
anniversary. At that point, I'm like, this is weird. She's probably dating somebody. I should say something. So I say at that point, look, this hotel thing didn't work out,
Yeah.
but I have a plan.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to take you somewhere for our 11th anniversary.
Yeah.
We can go a little bit further. The
Yep.
kids will be a year older, and you know, I feel more comfortable. You'll feel more comfortable. And for our next anniversary, for our 11th anniversary,
Yes.
I took her to her hut over the
Yes.
water
Yep.
in essentially Bora Bora, Tahiti,
Yep.
Moorea.
Yep. That
And
was
we
beautiful.
went and we had a hut, and we could jump into the water, and you saw sunrises, and you had the glass bottom floor.
Yep.
And
that
I
was
told her we're going to
amazing.
Greece. And then we didn't go to Greece.
Yep.
We ended up going to Tahiti instead.
That was
So it took
amazing.
11 years
That was
and
probably
one-
one of my favorite trips that
and
we
one
ever
Mexican dinner for our 10-year anniversary
took. Mexicali.
in Mexicali. It took a little bit of patience, but
But
hopefully it paid off.
I honestly think that Tahiti trip we took was probably one
And
of
you
my
didn't know?
favorites. What do you mean I didn't know?
You didn't know we were going there. You thought we were going to Greece.
I did?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
I don't remember.
You didn't know until we got to LA.
Why
That
would we
we're
go
not-
to LA if we were supposed to go to Greece?
That's what you said. And I was like, wow, your geography's gotten a lot better since I didn't
Come
plan for
on.
that. We got to LA and you're like, what the hell are we doing here? I'm like, oh, I don't know. We're going the long way.
That's not true. That's not true.
We went the long way
No,
to
that's
Greece.
not true.
Better pricing to
I
go
knew-
via Australia.
I knew that we were going to Tahiti before that.
How? I wouldn't have told you.
You did not tell me we were going to Greece.
What did I
You
tell
told me you were planning Greece. I don't remember, but I knew we were going to Tahiti.
You did?
Yes.
You probably just...
Yeah, because I bought a new bathing suit and everything.
Yeah, why
I
wouldn't you
remember.
buy that for Greece?
No,
though?
I remember we were going to Tahiti.
So I didn't. It wasn't a surprise.
No, it wasn't a surprise. So all the things that he is responsible for, this is where our sense of adventure comes in. This is where, and I think you guys, a lot of you will be knowing this story. The only time we went to Dubai, which was January of last year, we were on our way to
Yeah.
Dubai
We had a connecting flight.
and we had nowhere to stay. Like we
I
did
was
not have
trying
our
to pick one of the hotels. I booked on the way.
He had one job to book the hotel. I booked the flights. He had one job to book the hotel, and he booked it as we were flying there while we were in transit. Does this sound like him or not?
Yeah, it was great. There was no problem. What was the issue? We got out, we went to the hotel. We got a beautiful hotel, beautiful room. What was the problem though? I'm still wondering what the issue is with that plan.
Oh my gosh.
Did you not like the room?
It was beautiful.
So then?
Why don't you tell them about the last trip that you booked for our family when you booked us 1 month later?
Yeah, that's what happens when you get too excited. You try to book in advance.
Do you
You don't
remember
know
that?
when to go.
Where were we going? And he booked us. We were supposed to Disney. We were going to Disney. He booked the travel.
Yeah,
and
the
then
day
when I
before
went
we're
to
supposed to
check
leave, it
in-
says, hey, 28 days before your trip.
when I
I'm
went
like,
to
hey.
check in the night before, we weren't scheduled for the next day. And I'm like, our travel
Get
is
in the
about-
car, kids. We're driving to Florida.
I couldn't believe it. He had actually booked us not for March, but for April.
Yeah, better weather.
Oh my God.
So what happened? Took a lashing on the credit card
Yep.
to book new flights via some other city.
Yep.
But we
paid
got
through
there, it
the
was great.
nose.
What is that expression? Whoever pays with boogers. What does that mean, paid through the nose? People say some random things.
And then the other trip that you were
Next
supposed
time I
to plan.
go to one of your stores where they're expensive, I'm going to say, oh, please hold. I'm going to nostril on their desk and see what they say. Hey, sir, do you need a tissue? No, I'm paying through my nose for this shirt. At that price, I'm not paying with my normal wallet. I'm paying through my nose.
No, then remember when we were supposed to go to the Bahamas? For like 3 months, the kids kept telling
Bahamas,
you, can you
yeah,
book?
tell them your story. How
Yeah.
you decided to get no visa, so we have to go drive around
Because-
town looking for a COVID hut. You want to tell that story? Huh? Heinous?
Again, I had to like plan everything at the last minute because somebody
What? Everything last
did
minute.
not plan
You
this.
just forgot
No.
that we're leaving the country.
No.
And they're like, ma'am, do you have visa? And you're like, what are you talking? I'm Sheena Malwani. I do TikToks. I don't need visa.
I did not say that.
Yeah, you're like, you know who my uncle is, you stupid moron? Get me on the plane. And they're like, ma'am, we're calling TSA. You're going to get arrested. Just because your initials are SM doesn't mean you have to call everyone SM. What? You like that one?
You're such a
You're such a Sheena Malwani.
Oh my God.
SM.com, stupidmoron.com. This episode is brought to you by Stupid Morons around the world. When we were at the resort, living it up, having a good time,
Yeah.
no masks, nothing. You're at a resort, you're having good fun.
Yeah.
And then to fly home, we said, what's the rule to fly home?
Yeah.
Oh, you have to do a COVID test.
Yeah, we had to go
And
to
I said,
COVID
so
test
what
again.
happens if you're positive? He goes, oh, you can't take the flight home. Oh yeah, that's great. So what do we do? Like if one of our kids or something go, yeah, they won't, you can't fly, you just have to stay here. I'm like, but I don't have a booking. He goes, don't worry, we'll charge you. And then he did that smile and his tooth went ding and you saw the diamond. So I told all my kids, just don't breathe.
On that note, I'm leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go. All my bags are packed. I'm ready to go.
Your backside what?
My bags.
Oh, your bags. They said your backside. Okay, people.
All right, people.
Remember this week's parting message.
Yes.
Lesson from this episode.
Which is?
Don't be a stupid moron. And if you're with a stupid moron, don't call them a stupid moron.